Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the Office Management Portal Webemo or web demo, an introduction to the portal by me, Hannah Gray, who founded it. So thank you very much to everybody for coming along. Raise your hand if you're new to the portal or if you're a member at the moment. Okay, there's a couple of members. Okay. So I'm going to take you through a couple of slides here and then show you the system itself afterwards, just to give a bit of background about it. So you should be able to see my screen now. So the portal really is aimed at creating this virtual and physical network and resource hub for office management professionals. So anybody that has a responsibility of any sort for managing their office. So some people are in PA and EA roles and they still have a responsibility for managing elements of their office, and that might even be in a corporate environment where perhaps they manage desk moves or joiners and leavers, stationery and that kind of stuff. Or it could be that you are a full-on office manager managing a small office or a big office, and you're running around like a headless chicken, dealing with toilets and joiners and HR and leavers and all sorts of other things. And a number of old clients and colleagues were asking me for templates and supplier contacts and continuous advice. So this is why I came up with the idea and started to think about this platform and what was missing really from the office management world. So I identified this lack of support and really a lack of development for these roles as well, and resources. And you may or may not realise, but there's an awful lot of PA and EA geared platforms, which is amazing, and they definitely have their place, but there are so many of them, but as I say, yet nothing specific for office managers. So we carried out some research a few years ago to over 100 office management professionals, and they showed that more than 88% of those who responded wanted an office management support platform of some sort. So we developed one, which is where the Office Management Portal came from. So it was initially launched in December 2017, and we've held, I think it's actually 9 events now, it might be 8, plus the launch event. So we do networking events in London as part of it, and there are now actually over 1,100 members using the platform from all around the world. Mostly our members are in the UK, and most of those are in London. But there are people from Australia, America, South Africa, Brazil, Mexico, France, Spain, and so on using the platform. And we get really good feedback. I'm so grateful continuously, and someone on this webinar actually sent me some feedback on it the other day because you are an active member, and I'm so grateful for that unsolicited feedback that we get, because it is something that is my business and it's my baby, and it's so nice to get that feedback to say, do you know what, actually this has helped me immensely, and so thank you for sharing that. And yeah, we do get really good feedback on people that use the platform and have any sort of set of that office management role under their belt. And there's lots of developments going on. We're continually looking at ways to enhance it and develop it to make it more user-friendly and to build more resources and support in there. So at the moment I'm testing what they call the beta behind the scenes, with some changes in there. So there's a sort of direct messaging chat function coming. We're looking at doing more webinars, training and all sorts. And we've just launched the Office Management Awards and the Office Management Show, all under the Office Management Group. So it's free to be a member. So a couple of you raised your hand to say that you're new to it. So if you haven't yet joined, it is free. And I can talk you through some of the elements in there that are free versus some of the ones that are paid for as well. So you can join today with these. It takes a minute or two to sign up, and I'll take you to the portal now so we can have a look at what it has to offer. So when you go to the officemanagementportal.com, you can click the sign up page up here, and as I say, it takes a couple of minutes. If you pick the free version to start with, you might already know that you want to upgrade, and hopefully your company's paying if so, because it really benefit them. But yeah, there's a summary of what you get, and I'll talk through each of those as we go into it. So you can click get started and then have a look in there. So I'm going to log in. and show you around. So my access is an admin access. So there's a couple of elements here that you won't see as a normal member, but mainly everything else looks the same. So there's a video in here. So if you ever wanted to look back on how best to use it or when you start using it, you can come in here and look at a video of the portal and all the elements and how we recommend it's used. The tips and advice section, which I'll dip into now, is one of our most popular sections. It's basically a little bit of a news feed / random, generic, useful or useless, depending on which way you look at it, advice for people in these roles. So there's a lot that's been going on, obviously, about COVID lately. So you'll see tons of stuff in there about COVID. As we go towards Brexit, I'm sure we're going to see a few more bits about Brexit in there, but also things like HR updates and data protection updates, as well as how to run that reception, how to make a good hire, or what to do if you're new to office management, toilet numbers, fire extinguishers, and how to look after them, and signage, and so on and so forth. So the best thing to do if you are new is to scroll through. Perhaps there's quite a few in here now, or have a search. These are sort of the older ones that we've added. Or have a search. So toilets might be something you have to deal with in your office. And in here, there is a tip on toilet numbers. And this is basically, through my career, I've spent over 15 years in office and facilities management now, and EA and PA roles as well. And this is one of the most useful tables that I could find when I was faced with the situation. We'd bought another company and we were almost at capacity. So in terms of toilet numbers, we had plenty of space in terms of capacity on the floor and fire regs and things, but we'd reached the capacity in terms of the number of toilets and ratios to staff that we could have, because the toilets were in the landlord demise. So we had to build toilets and a couple of showers additionally to allow these extra people to come into our floor, to stay compliant with the approved code of practice that applies here in the UK. So yeah, this is one of the most useful tables I found at the time to show me those ratios, because it was a bit of a minefield and I wanted to share that tip. So yeah, a little bit random, but like I say, possibly quite useful. Whenever there is a new tip added, and we tend to add a couple a week, you'll see a little notification up here in the bell, much like Facebook and LinkedIn notifications and how they work. And you can dismiss them all. You can click on it to go to that specific tip or topic and have a look at it from there. So if I go back to the home page, next is the service and supplier directory. So we work with recommended partner suppliers that we vet. A lot of them I've worked with for most of my career, so I know them really, really well. And they provide services that help, or goods that help you run your office. So whenever you do need anything, do please have a look in here first. The partners pay a fee to be part of this, and that fee funds our networking events and some of the development behind the portal, essentially. So it's really key for us to keep going, that we give these partners an opportunity to present their business, and for you guys to obviously network with them as much as we possibly can do. We never push or do sales or anything. They're in this directory, so it's always quite a discreet, safe place for you to be. You can search and find them either by clicking on the categories. So if we look at, for example, DSE assessments, there's 3 companies in here. We normally only subscribe with 3 companies. We don't go for sort of 6 or anything per category. And that way you get a really nice small selection of who you can choose from. And we always recommend that you tender to at least 2 or 3 companies, depending on the job you've got. So we try and provide you with those 2 or 3 companies in here that you can speak to and select with ease from there. Some of these aren't loading for some reason. Just gonna to health and safety. For some reason, some of the logos aren't loading. I need to have a look at that. But you can see there's a couple in there that do health and safety training. This one is virtual, and then the others are on our physical training. So there's a couple of different ones there. Or you can search. So if, for example, I search for cleaning in here and in London, and then you get a few here. So these guys are window cleaners. These guys, where are we? Do cleaning products, and then the others are cleaning companies. I definitely need to look at why their logos aren't working. Okay, Then coming back to the home page is the forums. This is the most interactive part of the portal. A lot of people think, and some people think, that this is kind of the only element in there until they actually come in and explore it, but there is a lot more to it, as hopefully you'll see today. So you can raise a topic. So if you need help or advice or support on anything, remember that our partners, most of them are in this portal as members as well. So if you need any expert advice, I know a lot of people have raised it on mobile phones in the past, and one of our mobile telecoms companies has been in touch with them and given advice on here, and they've since been in touch and had advice offline. So they're there to help as well. They're there to support and give that expert advice, as well as obviously all the other members that we can share support and advice with. So you can raise a topic here and post it, and that will shoot an email off to every member that's subscribed to getting those email notifications. And I'll show you after how you can unsubscribe from those if you don't want them. Or you can just scroll through, you can do a search again. So let's have a look at food and drink hampers, which was raised yesterday. So you can see a few people have replied to this with their suggestions and what they find useful. If this is a topic of interest to you and you want to monitor it and get updates, you can tick that box there, and you'll get an email to the email address that's registered in this account each time someone posts a thread. So if it's a topic you raised, you may just want a little notification coming through an email to say someone's replied. Or if it's something, like I said, that's of interest to you because you've got a similar project or you're looking for similar advice, then you can post that in there. And then when you're done and you've had enough of getting the thread, you can just take the tick out. Okay. I'll continue on from here. So I'm going to show you the events and training calendar next, and then we'll go on to templates last. So this is essentially, there's not too many going on at the moment, unfortunately, but this is essentially, again, all aimed at being that one-stop resource hub for you. So the idea is that any events, training, etc., that we find, we put in there, whether it's virtual, whether it's physical, around the world, we try and get stuff, but mostly again in the UK. We put it in here. So it's kind of your calendar to come into and say, okay, what's on for this month and what can I register for? And you can just click on anything that is of use. Some of them are free events, some of them are paid, and then book from there. And then any events that we run as well, including our webinars and our physical events that we will hopefully continue running next year, will be in here. I'm just going to try and find some. So the ones in grey are our own events, so they're just a little bit clearer to spot. Okay. If anyone does have any questions at all, feel free to post in the chat or use the Q&A as well. So I forgot to say that at the start. I was focused on getting the rubbish out of the room that was sitting behind me. We're in a new house. We had blinds up yesterday. So yes, need to clear the rubbish away. Okay, so then on to the Jargon Buster. So a lot of people have said to me this is like the Google for office managers or the Wikipedia for office managers. So this is essentially a load of jargon, and we add to it quite regularly, that is used in office management roles and accounting roles and things like that. Anything that you might get your hands stuck into is the many different fingers and the many different pies that we have to deal with in these roles. So again, you can run a search. So if I look for HVAC, for air conditioning, for example, a few things that come up. There's the acronym itself, but then these two are related to HVAC. So it might just help to have a look at those when your engineers are saying, oh yeah, it's the BSV box that's not communicating properly with the BSM, and you're like, oh, what? Hopefully this will help explain a little bit more about what they're talking about. And then you can say, yeah, okay, that quote's approved because I now understand what you mean. The templates, sorry, I'll just quickly go to this section here. So this is the contact us section, quite simply. If you need any help, support, advice, or any questions about the portal, you've forgotten your password and things, then you can come here. And the templates I will show you. So these are an upgraded feature, as well as some of the webinars that we do. So a lot of the webinars are free, particularly the ones that we do with our partners, but there are some that we do that are paid for as part of the enhanced membership package. So these are things like where we go into much more detail on health and safety and how to run a fit out or an office move project, business continuity planning, and so on. And the templates come along with that. So if you ever wanted to see any of the previous webinars that we've done, they're in here at the moment. They will get their own section eventually, but you can see in there, and some of them will be free for you to download and click on the YouTube link, and some of them will be chargeable. You might not be able to see them. And then in terms of templates, there's quite a few. So you'd have just seen me scroll through there about the different categories. So we try and cover anything and everything that an office manager might typically need to do in their role. I have a look at office moves first. I'm going to show you really simple desk move check sheet. With every single template that we have, you'll see that there's a description. Some of them it's very small because we don't need to describe how to use a travel itinerary template, for example. It's obvious. But with some of the more unique ones, let's say, we describe what it is and how best to use it. So we're always trying to give that kind of extra level of support here and keep with our mission, which is to upskill managers. This is desk move check sheet. So if you're ever doing an office move, I would recommend that you do a pre and post move check, desk check. So you would, from an Excel sheet with all your data in, merge the fields into here, and then pre-move you would check that they've got a chair and it's labelled, they've got a pedestal or a filing system and it's labelled, crates are labelled, etc. And then post-move, when everything's been put back into place, you go around and do another check. And in here is a picture of their desk. So you can see it and check that everything's kind of set up as it should be. Keyboards are in place and so on and so forth. So yeah, so this is something I really recommend. Yeah, thanks, Shan. Yeah, there is quite a lot in here. I mean, I did the launch 3 years ago. Yesterday, I think it was the actual launch date of it. Well, the revealing of it, and we launched it in December. And yeah, there was a lot of content when we launched, and obviously almost 3 years on, there's a lot, so, and more to come. So that's the desk move check. There's things in here like snagging list templates for office fit outs and a move agenda. Office lease comparisons I quite like. For this one, shows this one. If you're on the lookout for a new office lease, for example, or it could be a serviced office, you can put your current office in here, and then all the prospective offices with images, links to brochures, that kind of thing, and send that to your bosses so that they can really clearly, easily see what all the options are. Then I'm going to show you this office relocation plan. So this is like your project list when it comes to doing office move. Or it could just be an internal shuffle and you can just take a load of things out of here. So this is all of the kind of data behind it, all the tasks and things, and a summary with most of our templates, and certainly as we progress. Sorry, just bear with me a second because my baby's crying and I think my partner's fallen asleep. Just one sec. Of working from home. Okay, so yeah, so with most of the templates that we've got, we've added Google Sheets links in there to Google Workspace, as it's now called. So you can click on that and then save a copy of your own and edit it from there. But this is basically an action list. So anything and everything that we can think of, and I've done over 200 office moves in my time, that you would need to possibly do when it comes to an office move, from things like cancel the milk order, because a lot of people forget to cancel the milk order, to Wi-Fi and getting the approval and doing the dilapidations and all these other things that you might need to think about if you're moving office, or say doing an internal shuffle as well. There's about 100 odd lines, more than that, in here, 150 lines almost. And you can obviously just take out the ones that you don't think are relevant to you and then start using the ones that are, prioritizing them and assigning tasks. With pretty much everything we do in Excel, we try and give it auto formatting. So if I change this to high, it will go red if there's space after it. And then, you know, if it's in progress, outstanding, etc., it will change colours there. We pre-format everything for you to make it a bit easier to see. So yes, the best thing really to do is explore the templates. They are paid, so you can either upgrade to a monthly membership or pay annually. Hopefully, as I say, your company will pay, because this will save them so much time and money ultimately. And then they are also available on a pay-as-you-go basis. So from your view, when you click on them, like this one, for example, you'll be able to see the price. So they're like £10, some of them are £2, some of them are £5, and so on. There's not many that are sort of £20, £25, but there's a couple. Health and safety, there's a huge amount of documents in here, including a health and safety audit. So I'm just going to grab that document. It's quite a useful one to see. So you can do a self-assessment basically in your office. I've said to a lot of members, this is a really good thing to do at the moment whilst you're not in the office, or perhaps you're going in a little bit, to check where you are in terms of health and safety and get that comfort whether you're on track. Because what I've found in my career is, even though I've got an IOSH in managing safely and I've done all sorts of health and safety training through my career, there isn't really anyone or anything that says this is actually what you need to do for your office, like emergency light testing, like Legionnaire's checks and all these kind of things. So this list is an audit that I've had done in the past, or similar audit, and I've recreated something that I use on my clients when I go and see them face to face or virtually at the moment. And you can do a self-assessment on, so you can go through and say, yeah, this, we're on track with this, and again, it's conditional formatted, or no, we haven't got that in place, and so on and so forth. And it stays read until you've answered each question. Place, no, and so on and so forth. No. That's a really popular one. I think that's one of our most downloaded templates. COVID risk assessments, there's all sorts of COVID policies, contractor policy and responsibilities document, published procedures, behind the scenes action plan, work surveys, etc., in there for COVID. Yeah, more or less anything and everything you might need for health and safety, including some fire marshal training, general health and safety training slides, you can share with your staff. And then I'll just go back a step to procurement, because this is one of the other areas that's got some of my favourite templates in. So a stationary benchmarking template, all things that we have to do at some point in our time as office managers. And this one here, basically, you would send, say for example, this is your existing order, so what you may have ordered across the space of a year or 6 months, you would copy that out and send it to the prospective suppliers and say, right, price this up for me. And then they would send it back to you and say, right, okay, this is the cost for all these things and these are the quantities. And the quantities might vary. So what you're paying at the moment is in blue and the products, and then the quantities. And then you put your new suppliers totals in these different coloured boxes. You can do 3 or 4 if you want to. And the reason you get the quantities from them is, say for example, you're buying a pack of 20 pens at the moment for £10. Your next supplier might sell them a pack of 25 for £7, which we can work out quickly is obviously cheaper, but you want that summary to be on here because it might not be obvious. So what we've done is put in some formulas. So if I show you, for example, on this bit here, which are the PG tips. So it's 1,000 per pack, but with one of your new suppliers, they don't do them in packs of 1,000. They only sell them in 1,500, and actually it's less, or it might be more than your existing provider, and you're getting more for that. So what we've done is taken it so it divides the cost the unit, i.e. what you're paying per single bag of tea or per pen or gram of coffee. So it looks at the quantity that you're getting and divides it, or the cost you're paying and divides it by the quantity. And then it times that back by your existing supplier's quantity. Does that make sense? This is a tricky one that people sometimes get lost on because I can't explain it particularly well. But basically it makes it apples for apples in essence. So you're paying that, or you're showing that exact cost. Perfect, thank you. So yes, so another example here, so like this one's 1,000, this pack size is 35, but you get for £4.50, do you know what I mean? So it's showing the actual figures as to what we're paying. And then on the summary sheet, it shows who's costing you what and what you might spend on average each year with them. So it gives that nice saving example and so on and so forth. Let's head back to the portal. There's things like mobile phone contracts for a similar kind of template. And it shows all the different types of mobile contracts you can get and you can tender for, and then you get a summary page that will show you what your total contract cost is. At the moment, I always put the current costs in and then your new quotes, so you can again see what you're getting in summary, but the detail is in here. So it just saves, a lot of people say to me, this is such a great starting point for me to save me time, to give me guidance, to give me the right advice and things I should be asking and looking for in all these exercises or policies. But it also is a learning opportunity because I can see how I should be doing it in terms of best practice or in terms of things that I may not have thought of because I've not done it before. Yeah, exactly. Saves you a lot of time. I wish, bearing in mind I created these, and most of them are things I've created and used in my career, and I've got one of those photographic memories, so I've either just remembered what it looked like and recreated it for the portal for clients, or I've nabbed it from the businesses that I've worked in cheekily when I've left because I've been like, I've created that. And yeah, it's taken me a long time, 15, well, I think 18 years almost in these roles. So, yeah, HR, events, compliance, like these are the event lists that project lists that we use when we run events, and notices and signs and things like that, RSVP check-ins, housekeeping lists. There's so much in there, but it's definitely worth having a look around. Business continuity plan, policies and appendixes. And I've still got 150 templates in draft at the moment to put in here. So we add a few a month, and you'll get an icon notification again when they're added, and then you can download the ones that you want. I do say to my members, if you want anything sooner, let me know and I can prioritise it and put that in. So I've done that quite a lot for our members as well. Any questions so far? Is that all making sense? And then the last bit I'll just show you is my account. So you've got your terms and conditions and policies up here and some help FAQs as well about the portal. And then in your own account, you can go in here, I need to update my address, and you can either change your password or edit your details, or if you want to, you can delete your account. Hopefully you never click that button, unless you change your career completely, we'll forgive you. So yeah, so you can edit all your details in here, change your password. There's a nickname section, which is where it will show your name in the forum. So if you don't want people to know your name, you can just put something else in there, which a few people do. Security questions. And then these bits here. So if you don't want to receive, we do month end or beginning of the month wrap up emails to say what's happened in the portal, what events we're running and things. If you don't want to receive those anymore, you can click disable in here, and you'll be asked that when you register initially as well. And then those new forum topic emails, if you don't want any of those apart from the ones you specify with that tick in the box like I showed you, you can click disabled in there and it will stop emails coming through. Some people do unsubscribe from them because some days our members get quite interactive and you only get it once for each new topic that's raised, but some days there can be, it's rare, but there can be sort of 4 or 5 emails that come through from the system. But most days there's 1 or 2, depending on how interactive you're being. So that is the office management portal. Are there any questions from anyone? I know I'm looking at the list and a few of you are members already, but I think you're new to it. So hopefully that's, yeah, a couple of people are, yeah, so that's giving you a good tour, hopefully, of what's available. If anyone wants to preview any more templates, let me know on chat. Want to see some more health and safety templates? Okay. Expect another risk assessment. Here we go. Let's start that one. So there are lots. One of the features that we're bringing out in this new version that I'm just trialing at the moment of the portal, which will roll out soon, is of so I've got a preview, so you'll be able to see a picture of the templates before you download them, so you can get a feel for what it looks like. So there'll be like a preview image you can click on. But this is an expectant mother risk assessment. So again, this is the template I use when I see my clients and their expectant mummies. Yeah, so you can use that and edit from there. Let's show you training slide. this is if you've got, hopefully you will have fire marshals and fire wardens. I used to do a lot of the training in-house, so I would get an external firm to come in maybe every 2 or 3 years so that I could be refreshed, and then whoever was on duty at the time would be refreshed. And then in between that, I would train and refresh the fire marshals myself, because I was competent to do it and I felt comfortable doing it and standing in a room and presenting. So we do quick quizzes, and then exiting fire marshal, so on and so forth. And then these are the kind of minimum requirements that they need you to go through as you train fire marshals. So statistics is really good to share. They update those each year. And then this is a case study, you may have heard about it, about a fire that happened in Rhode Island. It was one of the deadliest nightclub fires in US history, but there's a video on YouTube which is quite hard to watch, but it just shows you how quickly fire spreads. You have to talk about the triangle and the tetrahedron, fire extinguisher types, and so on and so forth. So it's all in there, and then these are just quick images. You would replace them with your own emergency evacuation plan and a picture of your assembly. So let's see, a policy. Okay. Let's see. Should we do the coronavirus health and safety policy? Okay, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've got someone messaging to ask for. Yeah, so this is the coronavirus health and safety policy. So it's fairly short, but it covers various items in regards to what's expected about coronavirus, and yeah, what your staff should be doing and everything. So perfect. You're welcome. Any other template previews or questions or anything else relating to the portal? Super. You're welcome. Good. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I hope that's helped. If you're not a member, as I say, feel free to pop on and join us. We'd love to have you, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.